Thank you, Cole. Next, we have Ryan O'Hara from nyfights.com. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for having me on. Thank you, Vergil. Thank you, Eric. I have two questions for Vergil, and then I have one question for Eric. We'll start with the rhabdomyolysis. You know, obviously that's what caused the initial fight with McKinson to be postponed. What have you learned from that whole situation? And, you know, have you adjusted anything in training to avoid that sort of situation again?
I've learned a lot of things, and especially things like interviewers and reporters talking about stuff that they don't know, especially on Twitter, including you. And for that reason, I will not be answering your questions today or ever.
Oh, of course. Respect with that. Eric, my question for you is obviously, you know, Golden Boy had some issues with, you know, with the Jermell Charlo Jaime Munguia fight, with the negotiations. You know, there was a deal, and then, you know, the idea was to have a joint pay-per-view between Showtime and DAZN. And then I don't know how to pronounce the chief operating officer with Golden Boy. He said that, you know, Tank Garcia has to be a joint pay-per-view as well. If we're talking about Vergil, you know, getting a title shot and potentially fighting Errol Spence in the future, who's with PBC, do you see an issue in getting Vergil that title shot, given the strategy that Golden Boy has been taking these past few months?
No, not at all. Not at all. There's always a way. In fact, with the Charlo fight, there was never a deal done. We had preliminary talks, and it was very apparent from the beginning that we weren't going to be able to get it done in a timely fashion. We've continued talks. Everything's going smoothly. We'll see. We're always going to try to get our fighters the best fights possible. We're always willing to bend. We're always willing to work things out. And that's our position. You know, there's always a way. There's always a solution for any problem. And that's how we've been successful in the past, making big fights.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Next, we have Ismail Abdul Salam from Beats Boxing Mayhem. Go ahead, Ismail.
Thank you. First question is for Michael. I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned that you're an undefeated fighter. You're going to be the first undefeated fighter that Vergil's facing. I think a lot of people are also overlooking that you have several undefeated fighters that you've beaten in your career, I believe about 4. And the one that we most know over here will probably be Ryan Martin. I wanted to get your take on if you've noticed a difference in the ring between facing defeated fighters or undefeated fighters, being that we normally assume undefeated fighters don't know how to lose, so they're a little bit more aggressive. Do you see that in the ring in the fighters you have fought that were undefeated? And what do you see in Vergil with him being an undefeated fighter as well?
Undefeated fighters are hungry. They're hungry. They're proud. They're hungry people. And, you know, not only have I taken undefeated records before, I've taken undefeated records in their backyard. But the Ryan Martin, I think that you know, is a different Ryan Martin to the one I fought. There's a US Ryan Martin. There's a UK Ryan Martin. The UK one that I beat is not as good. but yeah, I've taken undefeated fighters' records in their own backyard, and I've gone into hostility to do it. And you know, like, I know this is on a bigger scale, coming to Texas, fighting Vergil Ortiz in his backyard. So it's going to be hostile. But I'm built for this. I'm built different. Like, if people looked into my rise and my record, from early on, I've taken gambles to go to people's backyards and define the odds and come out victorious, fight these young, hungry fighters at a lower level, granted. But now I'll get to do it. Probably the young fighter that's tipped for superstardom in Vergil Ortiz. He's a great young fighter. The whole world's watching him right now. So yeah, I'm excited to come and fight him in his backyard.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael. And my last question is for Vergil. Vergil, you've pretty much spent your career letting your fists do the talking in the ring. You don't do a lot of the theatrics outside of it, but we've seen that can be almost to a detriment. We see with Ryan Garcia, he's been very vocal with wanting to get Tank, and it seems like that fight is at least getting traction as far as talks go. Do you feel because you've had that layoff, do you have to do a little bit more talking outside of the ring, or do you still think you can feel comfortable just letting your in-ring work do the talking for you?
I feel like, see, if I start talking outside of the ring, you're gonna tell right away that's not the kind of person I am. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to fake it and be someone that I'm not. That's just that I'm not good at doing that. I mean, I can do it if I want to, but it's gonna be pretty obvious that that's not the kind of person I am. So I'm just gonna stick to letting my fists doing the talking and let my skills pay the bills. I guess that's cheesy as hell, but yeah, that's pretty much my answer.
Got it. Vergil and Michael, thank you both for your time.
Next we have Kendrick Johnson from MMA Weekly. Go ahead, Kendrick.
How you doing? I got a couple questions for Vergil and one for Michael. My first one's for Michael. Michael, with only having 2 knockouts, how do you feel that your lack of knockouts is going to be able to keep Vergil off when we know that everybody he's fought has sooner or later succumbed to his pressure and been stopped just about?
Sorry, can you say that one again? I didn't quite make the whole question.
I said, with you only having 2 knockouts, how are you going to be able to keep Vergil off of you, since that's what he does? He pressures, he breaks somebody down against people that have been stronger punchers than you, and they haven't been able to keep him off of them. So how are you going to be able to keep him off of you on Saturday night?
I've fought bigger, stronger, big punchers, sparred big punchers. I've been in the ring with big guys my whole life, and I don't believe the reason I've got 2 knockouts, it's not that I can't punch. It's because it's been so easy outpointing these guys, and I say it's been easy, but I've been comfortable. As I've stepped up levels, I've been comfortable. You can look back at 22 fights, and if you can find a fight where I've looked vulnerable and I look uncomfortable and I've had to dig deep, then please show me. I've not been in a fight where I've had to dig deep. I believe Vergil will 100% take me to places I've never been before. And that's when I people know I've got a good boxing brain. Now it's time to show people I've got a big boxing heart. I don't believe my knockouts lack of knockouts has affected my rise, so it shouldn't affect me being at the world-class level.
You think you're going to have to take some chances on Saturday to beat him in his backyard and shock the world?
Of course. I can't just come over and nick a win. I'm fighting Vergil Ortiz in his backyard. I have to make sure I win clear. I have to make sure I take chances. I have to take advantage of every opportunity possible. So yeah, we know, and we're well prepared.
And next question for Vergil. Vergil, as we know, hello. So next question for Vergil. As we know, every time you come out and you put on the show, are you getting tired that your fights, when leading up to the fights, like you get more questions about people in the future and future opponents and title shots more than your actual opponent, Vergil?
Yeah, I always get questions like, all right, after this fight, not looking past. I'm like, well, just you asking me that question is already looking past the opponent. You know, it doesn't matter what you say before that question. It's just like, dude, let's focus on this fight. Ask me questions about this fight. And what do you, there's like 2 names you can ask me after this fight. You know, you got Spence or Crawford. You know, well, what am I gonna say? They're tied up right now. When am I gonna fight them? I don't know. Who do I think is gonna win? I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows I can tell you about those questions, and you're just not gonna get anything different because 100 other people have asked me that same question already.
That's why I'm not asking that question. So with the long activity streak, do you have to feel like, even though you're a rising star, you're a known KO artist, do you feel that you have to put on a show and send out a message or put out a statement? Since people kind of question you since the long layoff. Is he still that guy?
There's been a lot of people doubting me, and I feel like that's really stupid of them, because if there's one thing that I'm good at doing, and it's probably the only thing I'm good at doing, is boxing. And I don't know, it's just I wouldn't say it's how do I say it? What was the word? It's not like it bothers me, but it does bother me that people are doubting me, and I'm just gonna have to show them, I guess. I mean, what else can I do? I don't talk. I'm not gonna sit out here and talk every heckler on Twitter and Instagram. I'm just gonna do what I do best, and that's box.